Hi everyone, so I'm going to try to make this intro quick. It is time for a new vlog, and if you didn't see my recent vlog, my most recent vlog, I'm going to link it down below. There is a lot of context in that, and I absolutely loved making it so much, and it is definitely one of my favorite vlogs. And so if you didn't see that, again, I'm going to link it. And so basically I am on a trip back home. I do have only like 3 days left now, but I am starting this vlog that is probably gonna like be me here doing fun stuff, showing you my beautiful, adorable cats, and then I'll like film, you know, like going back to Edinburgh and whatever. We'll see. I don't know how much footage I'll have here, but I just love filming here, and I obviously want to show you Heidi and Isaac, my cats, and there are some exciting things that I still want to do, even though like I don't know how much reading I'm gonna get done. So first of all, my hair is freshly done. I need to wash it today, but I am so happy with it. So you kind of saw that a little bit in the other vlog if you watched that. And I have some exciting reading plans. So again, I'm not sure how much I'm going to read, but I'm going to quickly mention some of my reading plans in here. I definitely want to just mood read. This is going to be a very casual vlog with no direct plan, but I do want to read some exciting books. So the one that is most certainly happening is one book that I mentioned and like started in the other vlog, and that is Love Radio by Ebony Ladell. This is a YA contemporary romance. It's about Prince and Danny, and Danny is kind of like a skeptic when it comes to love. She doesn't exactly believe in it. She thinks that rom-coms are usually kind of stupid. And then we have Prince, who is a like radio podcast host of like a dating advice type stuff. He believes in romance and love, and he gives advice about those things and all of that, which I find so fun. I love that dynamic, and the whole podcast thing, I love it so much. And then Danny also likes like writing and things like that, and they both also love music and just all of those things I absolutely love seeing. They kind of knew each other in high school but never really like became friends or anything, and they kind of like run into each other again, and Prince basically convinces Danny that he can make her fall in love with him in like 3 dates or something. And she's like obviously like absolutely not, and she doesn't want to say yes and all of that, but then like she does like him and he does seem really sweet, and so that is kind of how it starts, and it is really fun so far. There is something about it that I would say is going to require a content warning, but I feel like I need to finish the book to be able to accurately give you that type of content warning, because it's not fully clear. Basically, the main character, Danny, had some kind of shitty experience. It's mentioned, but not described yet, and I think that is going to go deeper into what happened later on, so I'm just gonna, you know, mention that later when I finish the book. But this is kind of my main priority, because like I took it back here from Edinburgh, and I was going to finish it, like the original plan was to finish it before leaving, and then I wanted to like finish it like on the plane or whatever, and so I feel like it would be really stupid for me to not finish it and then take it back to Edinburgh, you know? The other book that I'm actually gonna start soon is one that I mentioned in the other vlog as well, and that is When Love Ignites by Rosie Adams. I was going to make this my birthday read. I was planning on definitely like starting it on my birthday, but preferably reading a lot of it, but then my plans kind of changed and I was busier than I planned, and so I didn't really read. I read like a few pages only, but I absolutely am picking this up as soon as possible. This is gonna be enemies to lovers and like a workplace setting, and the two of them basically have to work on a murder case, so I absolutely cannot wait to pick this up. And Rosie Adams, if you didn't know, is one of my absolute favorite authors, and so I know I'm gonna adore this, and I cannot wait to dive in. And then I do want to mention 2 books that I'm dying to read, and one of them I don't think I'm gonna read in, I'm not sure I'm gonna read in this vlog, and the other I definitely will not be reading in this vlog. But I'm just so excited to like mention them again that I'll just quickly do that. So my dad bought me the 2 books that I am about to talk about for my birthday. So the first one is The Atlas 6 by Olivia Blake. I'm finally going to be doing this, but again, like I'm not sure. I actually do think that it would be perfect for me to read in Edinburgh, like at a cool location with like the view of like all the old buildings, you know. I feel like that would be absolutely epic. So I don't think I'm gonna do that in this vlog, because like if you didn't know, this is supposed to have like dark academia vibes, so that is why I feel like the setting would work so well. I really think I'm gonna adore it. And another book that I just know I'm gonna adore is You Made a Fool Out of You Made a Fool of Death with Your Beauty by Akwaeke Emezi. So this is a book that I'm reading for a very exciting vlog that I cannot wait to work on, and I've been just like dying to read it. So I think I'm actually going to pick it up in the next few days for sure, but it's also a book that I think I'm going to take to Edinburgh with me. I'm just so ready to dive into this. Like, I'm dying to dive into it. I'm dying to pick it up and annotate it and like all of that. I'm just so ready. This is also the UK cover, and I did mention it in the other vlog that I do think I prefer the US cover. However, I think I'm literally gonna love it so much that I'm going to want to buy that one as well. So yeah, these are my plans for now. My camera is now dying once again, so I need to charge it, and I'm gonna update you soon when I figure some shit out.
Say what you wanna say to me now. I wanna wake up with you in the morning. Show me there's nothing fake to me now. I wanna wake up with you in the morning. Say what you wanna say to me now. I wanna wake up with you in the morning. Show me there's nothing fake to me now. I wanna wake up with you in the morning. Turn this room, turn it to an ocean. Let me float around. Eyes closed, like we're dreaming even when we're not. You and me got a whole other meaning, I don't know how. You and me just know how it feels when we're falling in love. Say what you wanna say to me now. I wanna wake up with you in the morning.
I'm going to speak a little quietly and make it quick, but I did finish Love Radio by Ebony Liddell earlier. I'm not sure how many things I should say because I already talked about it in the other vlog. I'm kind of confused about what I told you in this one. But either way, I really enjoyed this book. I loved the two main characters, Danny and Prince, and like I mentioned, I loved like I don't want to say like the setting, it's not the setting, it's like, I mean just the things they did basically, like with the radio and the writing, and it is kind of like set at the end of high school when they're figuring out college and all of that, which I always really like. I do think that like, while I do love YA as a now 23-year-old, I do feel like obviously like it makes sense. I do enjoy like the older types of YA the most, obviously, you know, like, you know what I mean? I'm not sure what else to say, but the thing that I kind of hinted at is that this book basically does deal with sexual assault, and I wrote down the content warnings on my Goodreads, so I'm gonna link that down below. I do try to do that, but I've not been really able to do that for books lately. It is, I don't know like how to explain it, but sometimes it feels really draining to write down content warnings for all the books that I read, and especially like it's really daunting when like I oftentimes read either new releases or books that are not really like popular, that not many people have read, and so then you can't really find the content warnings, and I want to offer that to people, but at the same time I have a lot of anxiety around missing something important and all that, because like I don't know, I've never really talked about this, and I'm not going to talk about it for a long time, but there is a difference between trigger warnings and content warnings, and I've never really read like an official definition, so I hope I understand it correctly. But trigger warnings, I feel like, are just like the most serious things that are kind of obvious. If you know what a trigger warning is, you probably know what like the main ones can be, but content warnings are kind of more specific, and it's not always as obvious, and it's just kind of like things that like a lot of people wouldn't consider, you know, triggering or upsetting or whatever, but it can still be triggering or upsetting to people. And so I do try to do content warnings, which goes a lot deeper, and therefore there's a lot more risk of not catching something or forgetting it, or, you know, either way, this book is actually not really like a lighthearted, cute little contemporary romance. Like, it is that for a large part, but I do want to make sure that you know that it does deal with sexual assault, and in the beginning it is kind of hinted at, like I said, like it's not, you don't fully know what happened. Honestly made me kind of anxious and uncomfortable, and it definitely was really upsetting. And then there is like an on-page scene. It is at the end of chapter 14, so if you want to skip that, just skip that chapter. But also, like, again, like in the beginning, the hinting and brief mentions are kind of a lot, and so if you don't want to read about that in any shape or form, it's probably better not to read it. But that is not to say that I don't recommend this book. I do think, like, I also am not, like, saying that it was done badly or anything, and it's most certainly not the author's fault that, you know, I didn't know that this was the thing, but obviously it's a super new release, and so, yeah, hopefully publishers at some point are gonna write trigger warnings into the books, but either way, I hope that it helps for me to mention it at least. But I still definitely do think that it is a really great book, and it's not only just, obviously it's not just like a super heavy book, but it just like is heavy in some parts, but the romance is still super sweet, really fun, and I really enjoyed that. So I hope that makes sense. It is late. I should probably just shut the fuck up, but I'm still really happy. I'm still glad that I read this book, and it is the most pretty cover. I do recommend it if you are okay reading about the things that I talked about. So that is this. And then I'm going to mention two more things really quickly, because I basically finished a book that I didn't like mention in the other vlog, so I'm going to mention it in here. And then I started a little bit of another book that I think I probably will be finishing maybe tomorrow morning. So the book that I finished is Layover. I'm just like, I had to show you, like, you know, I'm going to put the cover on the screen anyways, but it is Layover by Katrina Jackson. I'm really excited that I can show my phone on camera, because again, when I film with my phone, it's not an option. Did I even say in this vlog, I got a new camera? I will be talking about that for a long time, because it is super fucking exciting to me. Anyway, so I read Looking by Katrina Jackson, which I talked about in the other vlog. Absolutely fucking adored it. If you would like to read a super fun, emotional, steamy, polyamorous romance that is about an established couple and like a new woman that like they fall in love with, you absolutely need to pick that up. It's also a really quick read, and so that reminded me once again that I fucking adore Katrina Jackson. And while I've read multiple of her books, I haven't dived, is that dived or dove? Oh, whatever. I just never really dove into like the depths of her backlist, you know, and she has quite a lot of books. And so I picked up Layover, which was on Kindle Unlimited. It was the first book in a series. It just made sense to me, and it was a novella, which, like, I didn't mention it in here, but since I've been at home, I've obviously been really busy trying to spend time with my family, but at the same time, I obviously do want to get some reading done, and so super short things have been the thing that has made the most sense to me to read, you know? I really enjoyed it. I ended up giving it 3.5 stars. It wasn't like the best thing I've ever read, but it was still a super enjoyable book, and it's basically about our two main characters who are kind of like, they do like social media. The heroine mainly focuses on like travel blogging, and the hero does like podcasts, music type stuff, like radio stuff. And I love those things, and I don't think I'm going to say anything more. They kind of meet once and then kind of flirt online, and then they meet like again at the beginning of the story, and there's an attraction. I love that. I think that's all I'm going to say about it, because again, it is a really short book, but I really enjoyed it. I think that's, yeah, the only thing that I will say before I shut up about the book is that the thing that I liked the least about it, I think, is the ending. It is definitely very abrupt and not like not like a closed ending. It's kind of like an open ending that is, it was labeled as happy for now though on Goodreads, so it's kind of like you're like, you know, it's gonna work out, but you don't see it on page, you know? And so like I was invested and I wanted to see it, but like obviously it's just, you know, a novella. That is not what the book was supposed to do, so it just doesn't. But yeah, just like a warning, if you do pick it up, the ending is abrupt, but I still am happy that I read it anyways, and I enjoyed it nonetheless. And the other book is also by Katrina Jackson, because again, I was just like, you know what, I just want to read as many of her books as possible, which like I don't really do that, which means I really must love her, because it's not that I don't do that like in general, but I usually do it spaced out. But now, you know, as I was like reading these books and thinking about it, whatever, I was just like, you know what, I want to do all of that. I want to read all of them right now. And so I picked up Room for Three. This is another polyamorous book that is, I don't know, I think it's also like a novella. And it's basically, I think also actually about a couple who lives together and they basically get a new roommate and they're going to fall in love with her. That is what I think it's going to be. And I actually really like that, and I do feel like in this book the couple definitely seems to have more issues than in Looking. In Looking, they just have such amazing, healthy communication, and they were just like, you know what, I think the best thing for our relationship is to open our marriage. And in Room for Three, so far it seems like the couple has a lot of issues and kind of arguments, and they're kind of starting to really struggle, and the new roommate is going to be kind of like a surprising thing for them that's hopefully going to, you know, like change a lot of things but in a positive way. So that is what I can see from the plot. I love roommate tropes, I love polyamorous romances, and I love the fact that like in these specific stories you get an established couple, which I love reading about. I know a lot of other people do as well, but at the same time you also get like a new romance with a new person, and I just like, I love that, you know, you get the best of both worlds. These are the plans, that is what's happening, and I'm gonna shut up now and I'll update you tomorrow.
Fake to me now. I wanna wake up with you in the morning. Say what you wanna say to me now. I wanna wake up with you in the morning. Show me there's nothing fake to me now. I wanna wake up with you in the morning. We can do nothing at all. So what? If you're stupid then you know it's nothing wrong. But you and me got a whole other meaning, I don't know how. But you and me just know how it feels.
Hi everyone, it is time for some exciting updates. I don't exactly have reading updates, but I have a little mini like beauty makeup haul that I wanted to share with you. While it's not book related, it is really exciting to me, and again, I just really want to share more like life things in my vlogs and just other stuff that I love that is exciting that is not necessarily book related. So if you don't care about this mini beauty haul, you can skip ahead. But before I get into that, I didn't really end up reading that much yesterday or today. I actually did read a book, which, you know what, I'm gonna mention it in here, even though it's for a different vlog. I never really like talk about the books that are for different vlogs. I am like, you know what, I'm gonna mention it in here, and I'm gonna give you like a sneak peek to a super exciting video that is coming. It's basically a Goodreads list reading vlog of a list that was just kind of like queer books to read this Pride Month and afterwards or something. And I'm super excited for that vlog. I already read something that was amazing for it, and all the other books I'm just so excited for. Yesterday I ended up starting Never Been Kissed by Timothy Yanofsky, and I only got to page 42. I am super excited for this. I already love the vibes. It just feels like the perfect lighthearted rom-com, and I need that. And it's actually new adult contemporary romance, and it is obviously a queer romance, so I don't really have any detailed thoughts yet, and I'm obviously going to talk about it in detail in my vlog for the other one, you know, but definitely recommend you check this book out and add it to your TBR. Already I have heard amazing things about it, and so far I am loving it. So, and another very, very important thing is, and the reason why I didn't really read much yesterday is because I think I mentioned that my sister had her last med school exam and she fucking passed it, and she's done with the shit show that med school is. And I'm so happy for her, and I'm just so relieved. And so because of all of that, I could not focus for the life of me. And obviously, again, like I am leaving after tomorrow and I just want to enjoy the time that I have with my family. So now I'm going to quickly show you the few things that I got. So first, I actually got something from Sephora, which I basically got a gift card from my aunt for Christmas, which I had like a little bit of money left at. And so that is what I got this with. And I also got another one from her for my birthday, but I forgot that one. So I didn't buy like a lot of things, but I do have one thing that I'm super excited for. And that is a product that I haven't tried yet. And it is from the like actual Sephora brand. And it is a lip blush, which is supposed to be, you know, the kind of product that is like both a lipstick and like a liquid blush. I don't know if the camera, oh my god, that is like literally insane quality. I'm obsessed. Holy fuck. I'm super excited for it. I haven't opened it, so I'm not gonna like swatch it, but I think I'm gonna wear it tomorrow. Then I got like a basic, kind of boring, but I got this Fit Me Maybelline concealer in the shade 5, and I just really like it. This, I know that a lot of people like talked about it a long time ago in like the beauty community, and I just use it a lot because like I only basically use drugstore products. There are some really amazing drugstore products, you know. So speaking of, I have to mention this because like if you watch my videos, you can clearly see that I wear lipstick a lot. I'm obsessed with lipstick, and it is like the most like important makeup product to me, basically. Like the one that I feel like is the biggest part of my identity. Like I love like playing with eyeshadow as well, but I don't always have like necessarily the energy, or like it doesn't just excite me as much. And the thing also is that even when I want to have some fun with my eyeshadow, my glasses hide pretty much the whole thing, or they even like make the colors seem different. And just like, I know that whenever I wear blue or green eyeshadow, it just looks so ashy under my glasses and it looks horrible. And so I hate reapplying lipsticks. I feel like nowadays it's really popular to wear like lighter, more natural lipsticks and like lip gloss and lip tint and lip oil. And that is not my thing. So I am into pigmented matte lipsticks, and I use liquid lipsticks, and I have two all-time favorites that are like a little bit more expensive than other drugstore products, but still are a drugstore product that is not like super expensive. And so my absolute favorite are these L'Oreal Ultra Matte Liquid Lipsticks. And so I got this new shade because I only had it, I had it in 2 other shades, and this one is 820. It is this, I actually have it on my hand. It is like this one here. So it's kind of like a neutral pink color that is kind of like a little bit deeper than like a light pink, but is not, it's still quite natural and like nothing too bold, and I want to wear it at work. And I literally have like 9-hour, 10-hour shifts, and it lasts the whole time even when I eat food in between. So if that is something that you need, yes, these lipsticks do feel like a little bit dry, but at the same time I feel like I'm actually wearing the other shade mixed with like another lipstick, but it doesn't actually, like, I barely feel it on my lips. Like, if you really hate like drying products, it is probably like a slightly drying, but I don't even notice it. And to be honest, like right now, if you told me I'm not wearing lipstick, like I would believe you, you know? If that is something that you need, definitely absolutely check out these L'Oreal lipsticks. And something that is a tiny bit cheaper, that is honestly just as good, is these Maybelline Matte Ink Super Stay liquid lipstick. So that is how this looks, and this one is in the shade 8, and they are just as long lasting and just as good. To be honest, the formula feels almost identical. If I had to choose, I would probably choose the L'Oreal ones, but again, if you want something a tiny bit cheaper, the Maybelline is just as good. Again, long lasting, super pigmented, absolutely wonderful. Definitely recommend. So I'm gonna shut up soon, but I do have 2 more things. So the next one is actually like super cheap, the cheapest thing that I got, and that is from the brand Essence, and it is their Stay Lip Liner. It's supposed to be waterproof, and it is in the shade for Naive. So that looks like that. I know that I tried Essence lip liners before, but it's been a long time, and I don't really use lip liner because these types of liquid lipsticks I feel like just work the best on their own. I don't use lip liner with it, but I do have some lipsticks sometimes that, like, if I want something that is not a matte liquid lipstick, if I want to wear like lip gloss, whatever, I just felt like I needed a lip liner for some of the other lip products that I own. And finally, I'm going to shut up soon, but the last thing that I'm so excited for, that I am obsessed with, are these nails. So that is actually from the same brand that these nails that I have right now are. And I mentioned it in the other vlog, I think, briefly, but I basically, for like almost a year, kind of like 3/4 of a year, I got like gel nails done at a nail salon, and I absolutely love that. Absolutely like my favorite thing, and I do think it's worth the money, but I have not been wanting to spend that money because it's more expensive in the UK, and I was not ready for those purchases all the time, you know, but I just hate like having nails without anything. And I knew that these nails that I'm wearing I still had back home that I haven't used, and since it was my birthday and everything, you know, I was like, I need pretty nails, and so I put these on. And while it is like a tiny bit of a pain in the ass, sometimes the glue just like doesn't properly work. If I like hit my hand or like my nail, it can like fall off, but then I just glue it back on. It is still really fucking pretty, and I never want to deal with normal nail polish ever again. And they're not exactly cheap either, but I'm obsessed with this design. And I just like, again, I hate the thought of having normal nails. I don't know if I'll be able to have those at work. I'm kind of scared of that, but I still want to take those with me back to Edinburgh so that I can wear them at some point. And I'm gonna shut up, and I'll talk to you soon.
We're falling in love. Say what you wanna say to me now. I wanna wake up with you in the morning. Show me there's nothing fake to me now. I wanna wake up with you in the morning. Say what you wanna say to me now. I wanna wake up with you in the morning. Show me there's nothing fake to me now. I wanna wake up with you in the morning. I can't see the issue. Yeah, believe me, I need to keep myself alive, but I don't need to kiss you. Hey, we can make it tonight, baby, that's just fine. Don't know what I'm doing, feel like I am going crazy. Keep it down. You look good, you know it. I can tell you're soaking up all of it now.
Hi everyone, so it is time for a very quick update. I am wearing a new shirt that I got, and it's a little bit too big. I prefer wearing tight shirts, but I randomly got it. It was on sale, and it's funny because it says fly away, and I got it because I liked those words with the butterflies, and it kind of had, you know, like some meaning for me and whatever. But I didn't realize as I like put it on and whatever that it's funny that I'm wearing it today specifically, because I'm literally flying away, and you know, but whatever. Anyways, I wanted to do this quick update even though I don't really have any reading updates. I promise there is going to be some more reading in this vlog, but I just did not manage the past few days. You know, I just really wanted to focus on my family and I just haven't really been able to focus on books even when I like could. But I wanted to do one more update here because again, I just love filming here, and so we're doing that. I did not redo these bookshelves. I did not have time, and that's that. I also don't have makeup on. I look very rough. I'm wearing a headband that I feel like makes me look like I'm 5. But yeah, I definitely am very emotional. I'm so grateful that I got to do so many exciting things, that I got to see my cats and my family like on my birthday and Heidi's birthday and everything. And it is time for a new adventure once again. So I think I'm gonna shut up now. I don't really have anything else to add to this right now. I still have like 2 hours or something, so I'm gonna go enjoy those, and I'll see you in my apartment in Edinburgh, and I'm gonna plan some exciting shit there, and yeah. Hi everyone, so I hope this angle is okay. I'm obviously back in Edinburgh now, and I forgot my tripod that I had this amazing tripod that could like hold my phone, but I can also put a camera on it, and so I was obviously gonna take it with me, and I forgot it. So now I have a tiny tripod. Thank God I at least have that. But if this angle is kind of weird, I'm sorry about that. Maybe like the lighting is also kind of crap, but I'm gonna try to maybe move it like that. Is that a little better? That's actually, I think, better. Finally have some reading updates, not like that many, because just again, like I've been all over the place, and it is the next day. I just got here yesterday and my plane ended up being delayed as fuck. And so I didn't, that would suggest that I did a lot of reading, which I actually did read. I mainly read a book that is for another video. It is Never Been Kissed, that I think I mentioned to you. I was reading it, and so I did read a lot of that, and I'm really loving that. But besides that, I actually did finish 2 books. So I guess I did do reading, but like they were short and whatever, but you know, let's talk about those. I finished Room for Three by Katrina Jackson. I ended up giving it like 3 stars, like a little bit more than a 3-star, but I marked it as 3. And I still definitely enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot because like, again, I just fucking love, the lighting is definitely changing. Why is it so annoying? Like, I obviously love Katrina Jackson. I think she's fucking amazing. This book was actually published in 2018. So it's quite a long time ago at this point, and so it makes sense that, you know, it's not as good as some of her other books, but I still liked it. Like, I really liked the main characters, and it was really fun and sweet and cute, but I just didn't fully feel as connected to it and like as excited to keep reading it. And I do think that the pace feels weirdly slow. Maybe I just was in like a weird mood, because that's definitely the case. But it just like, even though it's a novella, it just felt like such a long book in some moments. Yeah, and like the development of the romance is kind of slow as well, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but I just felt like, you know, it was just like a little bit too slow for me, but I still really liked it. And I do think that the characters weren't as developed as I would like them to be, and I definitely, like, if you read this one before the others, if I read this one before the others, I might like it more. So maybe start with Room for Three and then read Katrina Jackson's other books. But because again, like, she has just grown so much as a writer. Her books, like, again, like recently I talked about, in a recent vlog, I talked about Looking by Katrina Jackson, that I fucking adored, 5 stars, incredible. And the sequel to this book, Neighborly, is actually a book that I read before Room for Three a while ago at this point, and I fucking adored that. I also gave it 5 stars, I think. Or just, yeah, that was perfection. And so, like, I am in awe of how much Katrina Jackson has gotten even better as an author. But even though I'm saying, you know, like, all of this, I still really enjoyed A Room for Three, and I do think that it's a wonderful little sweet novella that is steamy and cute and sweet, and it is polyamorous, and it is a Black love romance. So I absolutely want to read other books in Katrina Jackson's backlist super soon, but that is what I read for now. So yes. And so the other book that I read, I ended up saving on Kindle Unlimited as well, while I was waiting for the plane and whatever, because like I'm desperate for good poetry books because I haven't read an incredible one in what feels like forever. And I just need to find like new authors and new poetry collections, but I haven't at all. So if you have any favorite authors or like poetry collections, please let me know. I'm desperate. My all-time favorite is Nikita Gill, and I have some other poets that I absolutely love, but they haven't been like writing any new things and all of that, and I've basically read all of them. And so I just really am desperate for more poetry. But that is why I picked up She, Hope, Faith, and Love by Aman Raghav. Kind of liked this. I don't know, like again, like I feel like at this point I kind of have, I wouldn't say high standards. The lighting is so weird. I'm sorry, like I haven't figured out like the settings or anything yet at all, but what was I saying? I didn't really love it. Like, I don't know. Oh yeah, the high standards. I just feel like maybe I don't have necessarily high standards, but I honestly think I kind of do. Like, I think I actually have kind of high standards for poetry to really love it. Like, I need really specific things to really fall in love, and it obviously depends a lot on the topics, which I feel like I don't really look for super specific topics, but it's just like obviously also about the way that it is written anyways. So the reason why I got excited to pick it up is like hope, faith, and love sound like things that I love reading about, but I just didn't really like the writing that much, and it is also quite short, and I just felt like I didn't really have any time to like fully connect with it. And while there were some poems that I liked, and so I gave it 3 stars. It wasn't like I hated it. I don't think the writing is horrible or anything. It's just that it didn't really connect with me, and that is like the thing that I need in poetry. Like I need to feel something, and I really just want to feel really strong emotions. I want it to hit me hard and, you know, like mean something, and that just wasn't really the case. But if you have Kindle Unlimited and you love poetry and you just want to try it out, like I don't think that this is a bad option. It's just like it was not what I was looking for, and that's okay. But you know, I'm still happy that I read it. Like it still like entertained me and gave me something to do while I was waiting and whatever. So yeah, so these are the 2 books that I finished, and then again, like I mainly read Never Been Kissed, so I'm not gonna talk about that. But I actually went book shopping today, and I am working on like a book shopping video specifically, and I have a package that is gonna arrive with 3 absolutely amazing books tomorrow. So I'm gonna unbox that with you tomorrow. So I'm not gonna show you what books I got today, because again, I'm doing the book shopping video, but I do want to mention one that I think there's a, like, I don't want to promise anything, but I'm excited to read it, and I do think there is a chance, a little bit, that I might read it in this video, though I need to check, like, how long this video is. And that is Set On You by Amy Lee. I've heard a lot of people, I haven't really heard specifically, like, a lot of people talk about it, but I know this has generally been really hyped, and it sounds really fun. It's supposed to be some kind of, like, gym romance, and about a fitness influencer and a firefighter, and they see each other at the gym or something. I don't know, whatever. That sounds really boring. That's a shitty description, but I've been looking at it constantly, and I was just like, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna get it. It was also on 3 for 2 in Blackwell's, and so I might pick it up soon. I don't know, because like with like going on the trip and then coming back here, I am in such a weird reading mood. Like I'm dying to read, but I don't know what I want to read. So I'm sorry again if this vlog is all over the place, but I'm gonna read something eventually, and I'm gonna update you when I do that. So it is time for a really quick update. I'm not gonna look into the viewfinder the whole time. I also need to wash my hair. I'm here to talk about a book that I started that I was kind of thinking of starting before, but I forgot to mention that to you. And I honestly think that I might just like fly through it, and I wanted to talk to you a little bit about it because I'm just like, I'm so excited. It's called Give Me More by Sarah Kate. And in my, was it my last vlog? In a recent vlog, I talked about the first two books in this series, which was Praise and something else. I don't know what the other one is called. But the first two books in the series, I literally read them almost back to back, which I never do with series. I always take my time with them. I was just so obsessed with it. I was just like, I need more. And I saw on Kindle and like Goodreads that the next book was coming out like in a week or week-ish when I read those two books, and it is out today. I immediately had to download it. That is how excited I am. I don't really have this feeling that often. I love it. And so these books are just like so addicting, super fun indie romances that are just super steamy and also just have really great characters and super fun like romance dynamics. And I'm just like so here for it. And this one I was so excited for because basically, okay, let's take it from the beginning a little bit. These books are kind of follow like a group of guys who create a sex club together. And so there's basically this friend group, you know, and they're actual friends, not just like business partners or whatever. And so I love those friendships. And so you see these other characters appear in the like previous books before they get their own story. And so one of the main characters, Drake, like all of the main characters in this book basically appear in the other two books. And so I really liked them in there, first of all. And second of all, the premise of this book, I was just like, oh my god, that sounds so fun. Holy shit. And I forgot, like I read something on Goodreads, but I forgot the details of that. And I don't think that like the thing has happened yet, what's actually written there. But what has happened is exciting as fuck already. So this is going to be a polyamorous romance, which I generally love reading those. I literally read Room for Three in here. And did I read another one? And then recently I read Looking by Katrina Jackson. I love reading polyamorous romance. And let me know if you would like a recommendation video of them, because at this point I've read quite a lot of them. And so that was something super exciting. And at the same time, this is actually also another book where there's like a couple that's married, but the third one actually isn't like a stranger and a new person. It's their best friend. So like you're telling me I could basically have best friends to lovers and an established couple at the same time. Like these tropes, fucking adore. Like I love reading about couples. I love reading best friends to lovers. And if that wasn't like amazing enough, they're gonna move in together. Like basically Drake, the like best friend who's not a part of the main couple, he gets like evicted from his apartment out of nowhere. And so they tell him, you know, like just move in with us. And so they're going to be fucking roommates, which is a trope that I am like such a fucking big fan of. Like I adore it. I love it so much. I love this excitement, and that is exactly how I felt about every single book in this series so far. So that is what's happening, and I'm so happy as well, because I was really struggling to decide what to read, because again, like I'm working on the Goodreads list video, and it's also the same day. I didn't say that. I'm wearing a different shirt, but it's the same day. And so I was just really struggling because like I finished the Never Been Kissed. Really enjoyed it. More thoughts in that video, like I said. But I finished it and then I was like, what the fuck do I do now? And this is exactly the type of book that it's like, once I start it, I'm reading it, you know? Because sometimes it happens quite often that I start a little bit of a book and then realize I'm not actually in the right mood for it, and then I move on to something else and pick up the book just at a later time. But with this book, it's like absolutely not. Like, obviously I'm reading it tonight. I'm gonna mention a few things that are on my like watch list or that I'm currently watching or whatever, because like I told you before in a different vlog, I really want to talk about what I'm watching more than I have been. And please let me know in the comments what you are watching. What's like your favorite recent like movie or TV show or anything like that? I would love to know. I desperately want to start Abbott. I don't know how to actually pronounce that. Elementary. Because it recently was added on Disney Plus, and I'm so fucking excited. I honestly know nothing about it, but I have seen like a lot of people mention it on Twitter and how fucking amazing it is, and I fucking adore, like, I don't know what the official genre is. I call it like real life shows, but when I was like editing a video where I mentioned that, I was like, does that sound like a reality show? Because that's not what I mean, because like, I mean like fiction, but you know, in like a TV show form. I don't know, like dramas and whatever, like I don't know, you know, because like I don't know, it's like there's drama and there's comedy, but a lot of shows that I love are like somewhere in between, and then I'm like, what is it? And so I feel like this show is gonna be like that as well. Then I did start First Guild, and I'm super excited for. I love paranormal things, and I'm excited that there's a sapphic paranormal thing, and I love vampires and everything, and I just like, I feel like I have like re-entered that phase a little bit. Like again, like I've been obsessed with the real life shows, but I also recently, like, well, like a month or two ago, I started rewatching The Vampire Diaries, and I've actually been wanting to rewatch even more like of those classic paranormal shows. There's a show that I actually watched already, but I recently started like rewatching, and I think that there's like a second season that I haven't seen yet. So I did see the first one, but haven't watched the second one. And that is The Diary of a Future American President, I think is the name. And I love it. It is so fun. This one is also like a real life show, but this one is like a teenage one, and it is super fun, sweet, like lighthearted, coming of age type stuff, and you know, like I just really love that. Like super chill, and definitely recommend it. It's also on Disney Plus. I desperately want to watch more rom-coms, because like here's the thing, you know, I'm obviously a romance reader. I love I love romance. I love everything about it. Like I am a very like romantic person, or like I'm a romantic, okay? Like the most hardcore imaginable. Like I don't think anyone could be more of those things than this. Anyways, so obviously I fucking adore rom-coms. It's like my favorite thing in the world. However, I don't have a favorite rom-com. I have ones that I love, but all of them just like, there's something missing. There's just something that I just like, there's, you know, like a shitty comment or like a part of it that just feels icky or like some shit, I don't know. And so I don't have a favorite rom-com, and I don't necessarily think that I'm gonna find one in like the 2000s movies, because I do feel like some of them are just gonna have some issues and whatever, but I just want more of ones that I love, okay? I don't have high standards. I just want it to be super fun, and I want to like the couple. That's like all that I want. So I'm gonna catch up with you when I have some other updates, and let's just have a wonderful movie reading night. Hi everyone, it is time for the unboxing that I promised you. I also hope that you can't see too much mess behind me, but I also never really film in this spot. I filmed once here before, and yeah, but again, I have to be creative with the tripod and whatever, and the lighting at least is impeccable, which is not the case in a lot of spots in this apartment. So let's open this package. I am beyond excited for this, and I also have like a little fun story to tell you, but first let's open it. I'm gonna lose my fucking shit when I see these books, because like they're all fucking exciting in different ways. So let's see what we have here. Also, these are 3 books. They put 3 books in this. Like, I don't want to show too much because I don't want to show my address, but like it's such a thin package. Oh my god. Oh Oh my god. Oh my god. I just realized, like, this means I have waited for this moment for years. I'm not joking. I fell in love with this book in like 2018, maybe. I need to look at Goodreads, and I read it on Scribd as an ebook, and since it is my favorite poetry collection of all time, and I just kept on hoping that I would find it at a bookstore and whatever, and like, I don't know why it took me so long to like, I just, you know, should have ordered it, but I don't know, it's just like, it's expensive, I don't know, it just like never felt like the right moment. I don't know how to explain it, but I am so happy that it's finally in my hands, because again, this is my favorite poetry collection of all time, and Nikita Gill is my favorite poet, and this is my favorite of hers. This is like, I fucking adore every single poem. Like, every line resonates so deeply with me. I feel so connected to it. I love the themes, the writing, the messages, everything behind it, everything about it, and I own it now. So I'm absolutely gonna be rereading this as soon as possible, though I feel like my heart is almost not ready for the intensity. But this is the first book that I'm obviously so fucking grateful to finally own. So let's see what's next. So I am also super excited. Oh my god. I also got Yours Insatiably by Aveda Weiss, and I am so fucking happy to have this in my hands. It is so pretty. It is even prettier in person than online, and it is quite a short little book, which we love to see. I absolutely love Aveda, and I have read multiple of their books at this point, but I don't own any of them. And so this is my first one, and I always just get so happy to own like indie romances physically. It's like just, it's so special and so beautiful and wonderful. And I have another one after this that is also an indie romance, and I'm just so grateful that I could get it, and I love this so much. And so this is basically, if you didn't know, I have mentioned Aveda before, but this book is basically like a sequel to a short story slash like novella, or I don't know what the actual you know what it's officially called, but I now forgot the name of it. I think it's not Skin, it's the other one. This is the main character's full-length novel that like follows their romance. So like the short story novella thing gives you like a taste of the characters and their dynamic and the writing and everything, which I fucking adore, and I loved the book so much. And I actually started this book as an e-arc, and I was super busy, and I just, you know, I felt horrible because I hate when I can't get to arcs, especially when it's like indie authors. And but I also had the thought that like, you know what, when I read it, I want it to be physically, and so I bought the book, and I'm gonna read it physically finally, and I cannot fucking wait. So the angle probably changed because my battery died, but thank God I have a second one. So I really hope that clip is okay, and I don't know if it didn't cut it off at a weird moment, but I was saying that this is like an adult monster romance, and I mentioned this before when I talked about Aveda's books and like other monster romance authors, that I personally am not really like into monster romance exactly. And but I just read these books basically as if it was just like a regular paranormal romance, because it kind of reads as a paranormal romance most of the time in most cases, but it's like there's just like it goes a little bit further than normal paranormal romance would, with like what the main character or one of them or both of them, you know, like is like a species and whatever. But if you like monster romance and you want just like steamy, wonderful, queer monster romances slash paranormal books, you absolutely have to check out Aveda's books. And like this one, even though I haven't read the whole thing yet, you definitely need to pick this one up. I will definitely be reading that super fucking soon. Just like I will be reading the last book super fucking soon. I will show you the cover first. I can only see the back, and I'm gonna fucking lose my shit. Oh my god. Oh my god. So this is What a Match by Mimi Grace, which is a book that I'm so fucking excited for, and this cover was of course designed by the one and only Lenny Kaufman. I just will never ever get over the beauty of Lenny's covers. They make me speechless, okay? And why is my hair doing this? Anyways. I also love Minnie Grace, and I loved her first 2 books, and this is like her 3rd book, obviously. And it's an adult contemporary romance, and I think that this cover is my favorite out of like Minnie Grace's covers. And I don't want to say my all-time favorite Lenny Kaufman cover, because like she also designed my books cover, which like, you know, obviously that has a very special place in my heart, but there's also just so many incredible ones. But it's up there. It is up there among my favorites. I fucking love this, and I know it's gonna be fucking wonderful. Even though I don't remember anything about the plot. I love how they're all kind of like thin little beautiful books, which I fucking love to see. I don't like long books. So I'm in heaven right now, so I'm gonna go read. And I actually, no. I have an update. I have an update to share with you, like an actual reading update, which is I finished the book that I was reading that I now forgot the name of. Like, oh my god, why does this happen to me all the time? The Sarah Kate book. I finished the Sarah Kate book and I inhaled it. I didn't read it in one sitting, but I started it yesterday when I told you about it, and I basically just spent the whole morning / like lunchtime reading it, and it was just so much fucking fun. I loved it so much, and I think it's my favorite in the series, which is wonderful because like I already loved the first 2 books so much, and like they're just like, honestly, like they're all the same but really different at the same time. Like the vibes, the writing, like the way that it's like structured, whatever, like all that is super similar, but the character dynamics I feel like are kind of different. Honestly, like they're not that different, whatever. The tropes at least are very different. So I don't remember what I told you, but this is a polyamorous romance about a married couple and their best friend. And like, it is so good. It is so good. So these books, I already talked about it in like the other vlogs where I read the first 2 books, but these books are definitely just like super steamy romances, but at the same time, I feel like the characters are really well fleshed out, and I feel like the actual romance, like the way that they finally, you know, decide like, oh yeah, like we're actually in love, we want to be together, we want to build something substantial together, all those elements I feel like are so strong as well. And so I just love it. I just like this, I think I'm gonna give it 5 stars because it's just like, I am obsessed. Like, I think that so many elements in here were done so well, and it was just such a fun time and such a wonderful romance. So I'm gonna shut up now and I'll talk to you soon. It is time for an update, and now that I think about it, this might be my last update for the video. Just finished a book, and that was Your Soul as a River by Nikita Gill, and I cannot put into words how much I fucking adore this book. It means everything to me, and it is definitely my favorite poetry collection of all time. And I needed to read it so badly, and you know, I talked to you about it obviously when I unboxed it and everything, and at first I was almost like scared of reading it because I wasn't sure I was ready for the intense emotions it would hit me with. But the thing that I love so much about this book is that while it addresses some like painful things, it is so hopeful. It is filled with so much hope and healing, and it is just so beautiful, and it is just like my perfect type of poetry collection when it comes to the themes and the writing. Nikita Gill's writing is kind of simple and very approachable, but at the same time, she uses a lot of metaphors, and I feel like that is something that doesn't really happen in a lot of the modern day poetry collections. Like, so many of this is like definitely like a modern day style of writing. Obviously it is like written in the modern day, but like, I don't know, there are still some types of poetry collections written nowadays that feel more like the writing is kind of like more similar to classics, if that makes sense. And so I feel like just some other like modern day poets like Rupi Kaur or Amanda Lovelace or just poets like that, I feel like their writing is super straightforward, and it's like they say the poems are written in like the words are like, this is what they mean, and they say it straightforwardly. If I don't know if that makes sense, and maybe it's not accurate, and it's not that they never use metaphors or whatever, you know, but it's just like, I feel like Nikita Gill uses metaphors a lot, and with things that just connect with me so much, because this one is a lot about like nature and earth and the moon and the stars and, you know, like all those different things. And all of these connect with me extremely strongly. And the reason why I'm mentioning metaphors is because, like, I fucking adore metaphors in reading, when reading poetry or when writing poetry, and even like the way that I think about life so often. Metaphors help me make sense of things, or to really like understand something, or to really feel the meaning of it, or like just, I don't know, it's really hard to describe, but I just love metaphors. No book has done it for me like this one, and I still want more. Like, I want to find new poets and new poetry collections so desperately. And I also, there are a few books by Nikita Gill that I haven't read yet because they're never at the bookstore, and I don't understand, because she is a British poet, I think. I absolutely recommend you check it out if you like poetry. And so I'm so beyond grateful and happy that I own this book now, and honestly, I can't wait to read it again already. I saw on Goodreads that I read it near the end of 2019, like in the fall of 2019, and it's wild to see some poems that like I now understand in this book or relate to, that back then, like, I didn't have some experiences that I have had since then. So I feel like this book meant to me even more than it did the first time that I read it, if that makes sense.